Welcome to another episode of Kurdistan This Week, where we bring you the latest in the Kurdistan region from NRT Studios in Silmani. The Kurdistan region is approaching 40,000 officially recorded coronavirus cases and 1,500 deaths, with both milestones expected over the weekend. The figures mean that there have been nearly 10,000 new cases across the region in a little more than 2 weeks. Duhok and Erbil governorates continue to be the hardest hit in recent weeks, although Silmani still has a significantly higher death toll. Earlier this week, U.S. Ambassador to Iraq Matthew Tuller met with the Kurdistan region's political leadership and stressed the importance of press freedom amid a crackdown on the region's journalists. Given that many of the most serious recent violations have taken place in Erbil and Duhok, which are controlled by the Kurdistan Democratic Party, it was especially noteworthy that the issue was brought up in meetings with KDP leader Masoud Barzani, as well as his son, KRG Prime Minister Masroor Barzani, and his nephew, Kurdistan Region President Nechervan Barzani. The U.S. diplomat also delivered the message to Patriotic Union of Kurdistan leaders, including KRG Deputy Prime Minister Kabad Talabani and Kurdistan Parliament Speaker Riaz Fayak. Despite the high-profile messenger, this past week saw several new violations of journalists' rights. The day that Tuller met with the elder Barzani, KDP-affiliated security forces in Duhok re-arrested a local journalist just 5 hours after it released him on bail following 26 days in custody. NRT's Erbil and Duhok offices remained closed as of Friday afternoon, with Sunday marking a month since they were shuttered without a judicial order. As a part of the campaign of harassment, NRT presenter Shwan Adel was also hit with 2 new lawsuits, including one from a senior PUK official, bringing the total number against the veteran journalist this month to 4. On Tuesday, the Kurdistan Parliament approved the law on patients' rights and responsibilities in the Kurdistan region, with 70 MPs voting in favor. In a tweet, the Parliament called the legislation an important step to protect the public's rights and ensure greater responsibility by the health sector. This issue of public versus private health care has been an increasingly hot topic because of the coronavirus pandemic, with the government having to step in to prevent private hospitals from charging exorbitant fees. Nevertheless, private care is out of reach for most residents of the Kurdistan region because of the cost. New Generation MPs said that they advocated to ensure public care remained free. Non-contract teachers protested in Silmani City, Koya, Rania, Kifri, and Kalar on Sunday, calling on the KRG's Ministry of Education to give them full and permanent contracts. In response to the financial crisis that began in 2014, the KRG instituted a number of austerity measures in an effort to save money and cut the public sector wage bill. Among them was to create a class of non-contract positions where teachers are paid a lump sum per lesson. The pay is lower than for contracted teachers, and they do not receive benefits like transportation stipends. In 2018 and 2019, the KRG promised that many of those austerity measures would be eliminated and non-contract teachers would be treated as the same as their contracted counterparts. One of the protesters in Koya City said that non-contract teachers had made many sacrifices in order to provide a valuable public service amid a general shortage of teachers in rural areas, and asked what the KRG would do to compensate them. Finally, a group of Kurdish education teachers in Kirkuk held a press conference on Thursday to condemn mistakes in the written questions for 12th grade final exams held in the governorate, saying that the errors could harm students' grades. Earlier, some of the students walked out of the exams after realizing that the questions that they were being asked had not been part of the curriculum. The exams are critically important for students because they determine whether or not they will be able to move on to university. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Kurdistan This Week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories, check out our website, nrttv.com/en, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.